Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 MMS Women of Fortune Hall of Fame induction and also the International Women's Leadership Summit featuring Life Impact Awards here on the 6th of November 2024, happening live at the Nikon Luxury Hotel. Theme: Gender Equality, Influencing Policies and Upscaling Capacity in the Digital Economy. And I am your host for today. My name is Abuja Glory. Join me as we interview our different guests to get their opinion on today's subject matter. Welcome back, and we have our first guest on the show. You're welcome. I mean, you look absolutely gorgeous. I love these African prints that you have on. Please, can we meet you? Can you introduce yourself to us?
My name is Chinwe Ezenwa. I'm the CEO and founder of Lelook Bag Academy and Lelook Nigeria Limited.
Oh, wow.
We make bags.
Oh, that's amazing. Nice to meet you, Ma. You look so great. Please, can you tell me, in your own opinion, what do you think about gender equality and how does it affect you personally?
Well, gender issues are really quite disturbing because gender equality is part of human rights.
Exactly.
So, coming to demand for your human rights seems strange to me because I'm a woman, I have the same rights as a man.
Exactly, ma'am. Exactly.
So I don't know why this disparity. And I think we are on that subject now. Everybody is dealing with it in their own way. If you deny me my right, I will also deny you your own right. So
that's an amazing view you have there, ma. Also, let me buttress. What are the challenges you faced as a woman as regarding gender equality, and how have you been able to overcome these challenges, especially in the digital world?
Well, there will always be challenges, whether you're a man or a woman. And for me personally, the challenge I face is that I need to assert myself. That is my own challenge. Nobody challenges me. When I'm looking for something, I don't care. I'm a woman, I deserve it, and I get it. So, it's not a challenge. It might be a challenge for you. It's not for me. And in my field, the only thing I'll say is that if we go to the bank to look for loan, then that is where the rubber meets the road, because they seem to give more preference to men than to women. They seem to think that women will never repay their loans, which is their lie. So other than that sector, there's no challenge. I don't have any challenge.
That's very amazing, ma. What are the policies do you think that we should put in place that will help balance this gender equality, just like as you've explained about going to the bank and taking a loan? What policies do you think should be put in place in the work environment, in the society at large, to balance this gender equality?
Okay, there is currently what they call the WE policy, and I was part of the team that working on it. It's called the Women Empowerment, Economic Empowerment Policy, WE policy. And it resides in the Ministry of Women Affairs. And the past Minister, Pauline Tallen, was one of the leading ministers that fought for that policy to be engendered in our constitution. Because if that policy is not passed by government, it will be tough for future women coming up. So that policy should be really looked into. Because once that WE policy is adopted, it will be all over the sectors. So we need that policy.
Wow, I mean, I can't wait for these policies to be implemented and see the impact it will have on the society generally. It's so nice to have you here, ma. Thank you for coming and sharing your opinion with us. Please do enjoy the event and enjoy the rest of your day as well. All right, ma. Bye. Please, can we meet you? Can you just give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Okay, nice to be here as well. My name is Lami Tumaka. I am the chairperson of Blue Economy Nigeria Limited. Of course, a former director at NIMASA.
See women with doings. Okay, ma. Let's go into today's subject. Today's subject is tag gender equality. What do gender equality means to you personally?
Gender equality means inclusivity. It doesn't mean giving me opportunity because I'm a woman. No. It doesn't mean giving me opportunity because I am beautiful. No. It doesn't mean giving me recognition because I am young. No. It means giving me opportunity to be part of progress because I am equally qualified. Because I have the capacity, I have the competence, I am able, I am knowledgeable, I have what I can also contribute, what I can also, like they say, what I can also bring to the table. So that's, for me, that's what women, gender equality is all about. But then again, you can take it a step further, because it's not fair, it's not equal. So you can set aside, maybe by law, enactment of law, especially like in policies, especially like in politics. You know, I might be interested, but I don't have the strength, I don't have the financial muscle like the men do. So you can set aside a percentage, you know, for women to be able to come in, participate, be part of it. Because when you don't give women opportunity, you're losing a chunk, you know, of the society. You're losing a chunk of what they can contribute from the perspective of a woman.
I really love your definition. Honestly, it's just all about giving equal opportunity to everybody. The same way you're sending your boy child to school, make sure that your girl child has the same opportunity. Okay, ma. So I want to ask another question. What are the challenges you faced as regards gender equality, and how have you been able to overcome them from your own end? It could be at your workplace, it could be in the society at large generally.
I've been lucky, to be honest. I have not really had that challenge. But then again, for those who have had it, a major way of finding that solution to it is being up to date, educate yourself, train yourself, retrain yourself, learn skills, you know, just be on top of your game. Be on top of your game and know that what the men can do, not that you can do better, but you can also do equally very well. You know, I don't believe in what a man can do, a woman can do. No. I can also do it. Put us pari passu, put us together. If you can do it, I can do it because of competence. Because I also know that being a woman, sometimes you have to work twice as hard to prove yourself that, you know, you can do it. Because ordinarily they just look at you and say, it's because she's a woman, it's because she's Lami Tumaka, you know, that's why doors are opening, that's why. No, I do my homework very well. But most importantly is the blessings of God Almighty. Because in whatever you do, there must be God's blessings, there must be God's hand in your life.
Wow, you heard it from her. Thank you so much, ma'am, and we really appreciate having you here on this red carpet. Please do enjoy the rest of your show, and we look forward to hearing you speak more further.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And right here we have an amazing, gorgeously dressed woman. I from your haircut to your accessories, you are just on point. It's just like you prepared for this event. You look so great. You're welcome. Please, can we meet you? Can you just give us an introduction of yourself?
Okay, my name is Ambassador Dr. Wime Ivy King. I'm CEO of Protection Plus Services Limited, and we are into maritime logistics and guarding business. And came all the way from Lagos. Yeah.
Wow, all the way from Lagos to Abuja. Did you hear that portfolio? I mean, I would like to be like that someday when they will be reading my profile. Okay, let's get into the subject of today. Today's topic, we're talking about gender equality. So I would like to know, what does gender equality mean to you personally?
Okay, gender equality for me is all about equal opportunities for both genders without discrimination, regardless of whether one is a man or a woman, because sometimes you see a woman doing the same work for lesser pay. So gender equality is all about equal opportunities for both male and female without any form of discrimination.
Without any form of bias, Okay, also I would like to know, personally as well, what are the challenges you face as a woman? It could be in the work sector, based on gender equality. What are the things we are not able to get because of your gender, and how were you able to overcome these challenges? Just tell us about it.
Okay, for me, I don't believe in impossibilities. I believe that whatever you set out to achieve, there's always a strategy to it. Exactly. So regardless of who stands in your way, it's just for you to sit down and think it through, and you find the right way to go about it. So as the challenges come, one of the things that I do personally as a leader, I don't believe that one person is a connoisseur of all knowledge. So if you get to a point where you feel stuck, I don't hesitate to reach out. I always look out for people who I think know better than I do, who I feel they've gone ahead, they've done the things that I want to do. So at any point in time where I feel stuck, I always look for somebody who I can talk to and tell the person, okay, this is what I'm facing, how do I handle this, how do I handle that? So I don't allow limitations to stop me from doing the things that I want to do. Yeah.
Oh, that is so beautiful, and I'm so happy that even as a leader you are also putting this at work. Also, I would like to know, what policies do you think should be put in place to actually help women that are coming up it could be in different industries and walks of life, to overcome this gender equality challenge of today's world?
Okay, I think first of all, mentorship is very important. For women in different sectors of leadership, it's important for them to seek mentorship. And then, of course, there should be policies in place that can help women access fundings for their businesses, yes, to be able to upscale, get skilled and all of that. So those policies should be in place for women to be able to access funding, basically, to be able to expand, and grow,
You heard it from her. Policies like giving women funds and finances, grants, low interest. To be able to expand, to help the girl child to achieve and reach her goals and dreams. Thank you so much for coming here for us tonight, and I pray and I do know that you will enjoy today's program. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming all the way from Lagos to grace this event. Lagos people fine, shao.
Thank you. God bless
you. You're welcome.
Did
you hear it? Put it there. She said it. All right, ma'am. Good day, sir. It's so nice to meet you and to have you here on this event. Please, would like you to just give us a brief introduction of yourself.
My name is Hassan Bello. I'm a stakeholder in the maritime industry.
Oh, that's a very nice one. Nice to meet you here and have you here, sir. So, looking at today's topic that is all about gender equality, I would like you to tell us what gender equality means to you personally.
Well, personally, gender equality is opportunity, access to resources, access to education, access to employment, and lack of discrimination between the sexes.
So you heard it. Access to equal rights, education between male and female. Okay, so we would like you to also tell us situations that have happened, challenges whereby gender equality happened, like let's say challenges you faced with gender equality and how you were able to overcome them.
There are always challenges. Sometimes they are cultural, some are social, in fact religious. But Nigeria is a signatory to many international conventions that seek to erase discrimination based on gender. All we're trying to say is give women the same opportunity that you give to men.
Give women the same opportunity. It's so nice having you here today, sir, and we look forward to hearing more of you speak. Thank you so much, sir. Ma'am, like I said, you look so ravishing, amazing. I like this your hair. I was asking whether Yemi Alade is your inspiration.
This is my signature hairstyle.
Okay, ma'am. Please, can we meet you briefly, please?
My name is Mrs. Chizoba Anyika, Deputy Director, NIMASA, and the President of Voice of Women Foundation for Peace and Unity, and one of the inductees.
Women that get doings.
You
Okay,
can
ma.
say that again.
Okay, ma'am. Looking at today's topic that is all about gender equality, can you tell us what gender equality means to you personally?
Gender equality. To me, it means giving equal opportunities for all the gender. Let the men and the women play on the same level playing ground. No biases, no naysayers. Just let us have the same opportunity to play the game. Give the seat to the woman. Let her try her before you can now judge her.
I mean, that's a wonderful definition we have right there. Okay, ma, going forward as well, as a woman that you are, we would like to know what challenges have you faced as regards gender equality and how you were able to overcome these challenges.
So many. I've had my own share portion of gender bias. And the workplace you face gender bias. That is actually what made me to find the Voice of Women Foundation for Peace and Unity, where I have a couple of women that really want to lend their voice. Women's voice should be heard. Women should continue to echo their voice. Women should support women. Women should mentor women. Women that have gone through experiences should actually use the experience to talk to other women. I have had my own share with the experience of gender bias in the workplace. Yes, I had a leadership position where certain men think that a woman cannot. Yes, especially when you're younger than them. However, you deserve the place. And then when other ladies see you going through this rough patch, they don't lend a hand. They don't lend a hand. But for me, naturally, I actually am the only female in the midst of 5 men from my mom. So growing up, I had opportunities. My father gave me the opportunity to thrive. So I always like to give the women opportunity to blossom. So my brothers give me many opportunities, to grow.
I mean, that's amazing definition, and I also like how you were able to downline it to women having opportunities to be able to thrive and excel in their different workplace. It's so good to have you here, ma, and we look forward to see more of you in this event. All right, ma, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.
Oh, and right again here we have a very prestigious woman in our midst, Her Excellency. Please, ma, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Aisha Bagudu, chairperson and founder of Malpai Foundation. The full meaning of Malpai is Mass Literacy for the Less Privileged and Almajri Initiative.
That's a good one. Okay, ma, looking at today's event, that is gender equality, can you just give us your own view of what gender equality means to you as a person?
As a person, we can say we are all equal. So, but there's a balance in between. You can say what you can do and what I can do is different. So everybody is special in their own way. But I believe in trying to help each other and balancing the equation by lifting. There are some jobs that they said that what a man can do, a woman can do better. There's some things that a woman cannot do, and there's some things that, and a man can do. So we cannot say that a woman does whatever a man is doing, and we cannot say that a man can do what. For example, now you can't expect a man to give birth
Exactly.
So everyone is special in their own to do. But let's talk about raising kids. The role the father plays in a child's life is very important, and the role that a mother plays in that child's role is very important. But the mother leads more, because no matter for a boy or for a girl, they always need their mother. No matter how old you are, you always need your mother, and the mother is very important in the role, just like the father as well. Like I said, the father is there too. So for me, I think the balance should be more important than the equality. Not saying that we have to be all equal. We can be equal.
Wow, that is an amazing definition we have right there. Ma, it's so good to have you here and having you to talk about this. And I love your perspective. I mean, everybody have been coming to say that, yes, gender equality should be balanced, but I like how you balance it down to the family, which is very important and is the basic factor of us as individuals. Thank you for coming, and we also hope you enjoy the event today. Thank you very much. See more of you, ma. Wow, welcome today, ma. You look amazing. This is your red dress. It's like after this event, I'll come and I'll come and tell you. I mean, we're both swinging. Good to have you, ma. Please, can you give us a brief introduction of yourself?
My name is Rollins McFoy, CEO Ocean Deep Services Limited, and the President of Women in Maritime Africa, Nigeria.
Wow, see women that have doings there. Okay, ma, right on this show, we would like you to tell us what exactly, I mean, today's topic being gender equality. What does gender equality mean to you personally?
Equal rights to professional inkling, not just, it's not outside the profession. So it's not in the homes or within the society, or we're talking about profession here. We're talking about women who have made marks, gender inclusiveness in professions. So it's not a baby a women lead in the home, wherever. We're talking about our means of livelihood, what God has put in our hands to do, to be able to assist and to put food on the table.
Now, ma, butchering it forward, we would like to know, since we're going into the professional world, as the woman that you are, what are the challenges you face, and as regard gender equality or gender biasness, and how were you able to handle those challenges?
It's enormous. It's not a thing I can begin to say now. Almost 25 years in the industry, it's not a joke. And we've been fighting, and we'll keep fighting, because this is a maritime world, and globally we have less than 2% of women in this industry. So you can imagine what I'm talking about.
And being that in the next few years we believe that women will be at much better place to be able to take decisions and all of that.
Yeah, we're actually fighting for that, and we're advocating for that rather than fight. We're advocating for that, and we hope that our children will be given the opportunity to do better than we are doing.
Thank you very
I mean our female children, because it's a male-dominated industry.
Yes. It's so good to have you here, ma. We hope you enjoyed the show and the rest of your day. Thank you so much, ma. We look forward to hearing more of you. All right, ma. Bye. Wow, you look graciously beautiful, ma'am. Please, can we get to know you? Give us a brief introduction.
My name is Bernardine, a farmer, a local. I'm the Vice President of Clarendon Shipping West Africa Limited, the operators of Clarendon Bonded Terminal in Nigeria.
See women that have things in this country. It's so nice to meet you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am, going forward in today's topic, that is gender equality. I would like you to just tell us what exactly does gender equality mean to you as a person, personally?
Well, I will say that gender equality means giving equal sharing, in everything, as it pertains to the country. If it comes to the governance, men should take 50% and women take 50%. And even in the industry where we are, if there is something coming up for allocation, they should consider women and give them, in everything, give them women 50%, give men 50%. Even in terms of appointments, women should take 50%, of the total slot and men takes 50%. That's what I understand by gender equality. So there shouldn't be discrimination saying that because we are women that we should end up in the kitchen. No.
You see, it's a 50-50 world right now. Okay, ma, so going forward, I would like you to just tell me the challenges you face as a woman as regards gender biasness and how you were able to overcome these challenges.
Yeah, you know, like in our industry, that is predominantly men. Men dominated our industry. And you know, once you appear, they're like, this woman, what's she doing here? I mean, how can she be in this kind of a business that men are doing? And because of that, they want to frustrate you. You know, they want to tell you that they are the bosses, that they own it all. What are you doing here? You just go. So, you know, it's really been so challenging. But for the very few of us that are in the industry, we have what it takes, you know, to really show them that we can deliver. And if you check it out, you'll not find out that women, we are not too ambitious. What we look out for is to achieve results. You deliver at the minimum cost of everything. We are not looking to build houses here and there. What we need is service delivery at its excellence. And that is where men cannot actually compete because they are just looking for so much, you know. Because of that, whatever you can give out, they know they cannot be able to do that. And so,
I mean, that's a very beautiful scenario that you just painted there, ma. It's so nice to have you here, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the show, and we also hope to hear more of women making impact and thriving in the world. Thank you very much, ma, and do have a great day. Good day, ma'am. You look so good. Oh, please, can we meet you? Can you tell us a brief introduction of yourself?
My name is Theodora Wenze. I'm the Group Human Resources Manager of LTT Coastal Marine Services and also the Pasa Marine International.
And you're also one of the inductees, I guess?
Yes.
Oh, that's so great. Okay, ma, getting into today's topic, can you tell us, today's topic being gender equality, can you tell us what gender equality means to you personally?
Okay, well, I always say that I'm a feminist. So being in the maritime industry, for me, is a super to see that we have more females in the maritime industry, especially the seafaring aspect of it, where we have the vessels, and then when it's a men-dominated field, but being gender equality, we want to see more women in the industry, and with that, we also want the men to also. It's not as if we are competing with them. We are just competing. Yes, asking for our right and all the same for them to also give us a chance to also give our value into the industry.
I mean, that's a very good one, ma'am. So, being a woman, can you tell us the challenges you face in the maritime industry where gender equality was a problem and how you were able to overcome these challenges?
Okay, as part of my career in the industry for 18 years, me myself have not got any challenges, but because of the female seafarers I'm having on my vessels, sometimes we have like sexual harassment, but at the end of the day, if it's being done by a man, it's a no. The moment as the HRO, we have policies that are in place, and if any such thing will happen, we grab the whip immediately and that man is sanctioned in doing that. So that is how we've been able to cope challenges on the vessel.
So it's basically making the woman to feel safe at her workplace.
Yes, that's it.
Exactly. That's so good. Thanks for coming, ma'am, and we're happy to have you here. Please do enjoy the rest of your day and the event as well. Thank you.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign.
And so please just remain standing. I wanted him to cut it off on that third stanza so that we could use that as our opening prayer, and we'll create the balance between any sect of religion that is here. So we'll just take that. Maybe I would say it and you will repeat after me, and that will serve as our opening prayer. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed. Amen. That's a prayer that we need at this time. We need the peace and we need the plenty. Please be seated. Thank you once again for being here. I had established protocols and recognized most of our dignitaries, but we still have a few of them who are on my list that will be speaking to us at one point or the other. I would like to recognize and appreciate the presence of the Comptroller General of Customs, Mr. Adewale Adeni. Please, let's appreciate him. We also have the presence or representative of the Director of Operations, Ghana Shippers Council, Mrs. Sylvia Asana Dauda Uru. Please, let's appreciate her. We also have here as part of our speakers, the Executive Secretary, the National Action Committee on AFTA, Dr. Olusegun Awolowo, and I guess is ably represented because I've seen Dr. Bello seated here. You are welcome very much, ma. Please, let's appreciate them. Can we make the clap a bit better? Let's add life. Thank you. I also like to recognize and appreciate the presence of the managing partner, Temerity International Experts, Mrs. Temilaide Oguni. Please, let's appreciate her. We have quite a number of women associations that I will be recognizing when I come back to this stage again. So don't think I don't know you're here. I know that you're here, but I would give you the honor as soon as I come back to this stage again. I've said my own bit, but there's only one person who can tell us the essence of this event and why we're here and set the tone for the day. And he'll be doing this as he presents his welcome address. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome a man of dedication, a man of great strength, a man who I call a he for she, who does all that needs to be done to support women, celebrate women, and push gender equality in our nation. He's no other than the CEO and the person who has conveyed this event of the MMS Woman of Fortune Hall of Fame. Please join me and welcome Mr. Kingsley Anoreke with a very, very warm round of applause. Please celebrate CEO better. Since 2011 till now, he's been pushing this. Let's celebrate Mr. Kingsley Anoreke very much. Thank you very much.
I would have said let me stand on the existing protocol that you've established, but I think I may be getting it wrong. So in that wise, I want to ably say a very big thank you to the chairman of today's, or chairperson of today's event, the person of our wonderful mommy, friend, and too many things in one, Ajalami Chumaka. I also want to recognize the presence of the father I've always had in the maritime industry, the person of Barrister Hassan Bello. I also want to recognize another wonderful mother of mine, Mrs. Ezenwa, a woman at her age, and still walk and run around as if she's just 30 years old. Very industrious. A woman, every woman must emulate, whether born and unborn. I also want to recognize a wonderful Hall of Famers here present. But permit me to specifically mention, I've also captured that in my speech, but then let me also say this. The person of Her Excellency Aisha Atiku-Bagudu, meeting her for the first time gave me a very big impression. But usually when they talk about, sometimes, permit me to use this word, northern women, you think that it's just, oh, we know the likes of Ajalami Tumaka, you know, cerebral and then very educated, could talk anywhere, could walk in anywhere. But meeting her, you think maybe some governors will have just, oh, sit down and look. But then, first impression was, in fact, very infectious. I learned so much from meeting her. So I want to use the opportunity to also say thank you very much. And I also must not miss out the caterpillar we have in this program, the person of Hajia Mahmoud. She was so wonderful, I'm telling you. She calls every night, calls every morning. Have you done this? Have you written this letter? We have to do this, we have to do that. Honestly, we couldn't have had it better than that. So, moving into Abuja, we thought it was going to just be maybe 5 people around because this is not our base. But she's one of those that gave us hope. And then our own Lami Tumaka, in fact, she raised the bar. Despite the initial, hiccups we had. And then I must say again, the moment who started it all, the person of Mrs. Ezenwa, I must tell you, she said this program was held in Abuja. He said it's a must. And then suddenly a spirit, just got into me and started pushing. And here it is success by the grace of God. On this ground, I recognize all the Amazons as well. And then in this, let me just now stand the other protocols aside. Thank you very much. Then, do I say on behalf of MMS family that I welcome you all to this August occasion, being 2024 edition of MMS Women of Fortune Hall of Fame Induction and International Women's Leadership Summit. With the theme, Gender Equality, Influencing Policies and Upscaling Capacity in the Digital Economy. Of course, it is featuring for the second time in 12 years, Life Impact Awards. People who have distinguished themselves in the area of leadership. The relevance of this theme in the light of strings of development today in Nigeria and Africa at large cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, I am personally hopeful that with the array of technocrats and experts from different fields waiting to share perspectives on this subject matter, solutions to the challenges we have today in society will emerge. The team, of course, was carefully selected to attempt a review of the place of women in leadership, x-raying workable strategies to influence gender-related policies, how to leverage policies and technology for capacity scaling in a fast-paced digital era to enable women remain competitive in the work and marketplaces in diverse economy. There are 2 expressions in the choice of the team that underscore the meeting of today, and they are influencing policies and upscaling leadership capacity for gender inclusivity. For me, it is a strategy laid bare. But how to move from this point is for the participants here today to conclude. Permit me to observe at this point that the phrase, women support women, is largely today being abandoned by women in face of realities. I personally said, Shoyinka said the man dies in him that does not in the face of challenges or realities. I also said that these days, woman dies in a lot of women. And I will explain this in the course of time. I say, why are women showing so much indifference when a fellow woman is facing challenges? Especially when that situation has huge potentials of changing the face of policies or conventions in a country or workplace. Instances in this case abound. I'll give you first. We had, for instance, Hadiza had issue in MPA. A lot of people were very indifferent to that, especially women. I expected a lot of women in maritime industry, association, the WISTA, the WIMA, the WIS, to rise up, not even all, but one of them to say, look, I think we must get to the root of this issue. Usually what you see that when they have such issues, when they are pushed aside from, from a position, they begin to visit their houses on solidarity visit. Are you visiting them for them to cry or for them to take up challenges or to fight back when they've been removed? But if you had fought while you were still in the office, perhaps things would have worked out differently. Another one again is the case of a strong member of Hall of Fame here, which is Osoro, Mrs. Fong Osoro. In our own time too, the same thing happened. No woman cared. And it's happening now. The Council for Regulation of Freight Forwarding in Nigeria, the woman had just been pushed aside so badly that she was also bullied by people in government. And no woman rise to say, we condemn this. And then because the circle comes and goes this way, it continues. And then how do we now influence things if you do not speak with a voice to say, look, we condemn this? I just cited these instances for us to understand what we're talking about. So I hope that this forum today will possibly give us a way out of this. The intervention of professional women groups or associations by asking and raising relevant questions on the development will enhance chances of inclusivity and diversity in gender equation. MMS One of Fortune Hall of Fame initiative is a non-governmental concern that accord women special attention and status to build leadership, managerial and entrepreneurial capacity amongst women. Today, 15 women of distinguished personalities will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, a family of leaders and mentors determined to give back to the society. The Hall of Fame is a set of phenomenal women who have seen it all in their chosen career trajectory by redefining standards and are giving back to society as role models and mentors in different capacities. Essentially, this attribute resonates with the spirit of Goal 5 of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which seeks women empowerment and by extension, poverty reduction. MMS One of Initiative has a tradition of always choosing a day to mark International Women's Day while promoting charity within the month of March or April to re-emphasize the place of women in human creation, with opportunity to discover the Amazons. This is another group of people, women. This group of people is a class of special women in the family. They are jewels of special creation, ornamented with excellent features in their corded endeavors as change agents. The event of today is special to the family, thanks to our mother and outstanding board of trustee member, Chief Mrs. Chinwe Zemwa, who advised and insisted this edition must hold in Abuja, which we all see as a step to include our mothers and sisters in the north. It is not happenstance that we are here today. There is a place of divinity in what we are doing today. I am convinced, very, very convinced. I became even more conscious of my conviction when told that the Director General of NAPTIP, who incidentally just stepped, she came in here, she behaved like a white woman, she came in here and then felt that the program hasn't started and she moved away. MC, this is not recognition, so you have to recognize her especially because she has a place in our hearts and a place in the heart of our chairperson. So we also feel that we could strike a working collaboration with NAPTIP on reducing the incidence of girl child and women trafficking in the country. As a he for she, I am always elated when I see other men who support the cause of women. Genuinely, I appreciate the presence of Dr. Suleiman and Danus. I don't know if she's around here now. Okay. We're giving her, a very good conviction that she'll be here. Maybe she'll come in later. But I appreciate the fact that he identified with this program. Former DG, Security and Exchange Commission. I thank you for being here. The reception for this event I must say, is amazingly thunderous. The chairman of today's occasion, one of the pioneer MMS Hall of Famers and vision bearer, Haja Lami Tumaka, a phenomenal woman and a pure colossus, also demonstrated that she is never tired in intellect and professionalism, despite being on retirement. She told me, and I quote, "We can pull through." Quotation ends. I can't hear claps. In spite of the early challenges encountered, she mobilized, she prayed, and called us to success. Another woman and pioneer MMS Hall of Famer and a governing council member who pulled the trigger of mobilization is Hajia Aisha Ali Ibrahim, a transportant or professional of international repute. Then followed Hajia Rabi Musa, and covertly, she's not an Amazon, she's not a Hall of Famer, that's why I say covertly, Hajia Aisha Mahmoud. Madam, could you stand for recognition, please? I want to plead with the Board of Trustees and council members that she's my candidate for next year Hall of Fame. Okay, in the course of the engagement and visit, many others left striking impressions on me in particular. I appreciate you, Her Excellency Haja Aisha Atiku Bagudu. I thank you all, but not leaving out my own father, Barrister Hassan Bello, for always being there for MMS Hall of Fame family. Even now that he's retired from public office, he called to ask how we were preparing when I made a son's usual demand that a father never refuses to oblige. And he said yes. Thank you, sir. Regrettably, the MS Hall of Fame family in the last 2 years lost 3 key members. The most recent is the late music icon, Onyeka Onwenu. Earlier, we lost Lady Margaret Orepusi, another icon and queen of the maritime industry, who incidentally was our board of trustee chairperson. And painfully again, we lost Yalode Alaba Lawson, an astute educationalist and a serial entrepreneur who also happened to be a member of the governing council of the Hall of Fame. These were painful losses, but haven't gained. Shall we, in their honor, observe a minute silence? May the soul of the departed years rest in perfect peace. I sincerely appreciate the support all our sponsors, corporate and individuals, and in particular, all the MS Hall of Famers, especially the governing council members led by Ambassador Dr. Kema Chikwe, her vice chairperson, Mrs. Fong Soro, and Mrs. Uhoma Onyaroga, for their sterling support and faith in the project. Amazons too have been amazingly supportive, and I appreciate them all. For want of time, on behalf of the board, council, and management, I congratulate the class of 2024 MMS Hall of Fame inductees for having been found exceptionally worthy of being part of the family. Once again, I welcome you all to this gathering of learning and unlearning. Thank you very much for listening.
It is actually not easy to stay consistent on a good cause, especially when you have the tide sometimes against you. And this man that just left this stage has stayed consistent. Please let's celebrate him. And while he was talking, he was honoring quite a number of people and talking about their goodness. And while he was doing that, I thought about a saying by Jack Welch. And he says, before you are a leader, success is about growing yourself. But when you become a leader, success is all about growing others. And these names that he talked about here have embodied what it means to be a leader. They have gone beyond themselves and they are now interested in lifting others. I'm going to be calling somebody who also embodies that personality, very soon to come and speak to us. But before I call her, I would also like to recognize a few people. The women in logistics and transport, all the representatives here, we celebrate you and we welcome you. The Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, we welcome you. Women in Maritime Africa, thank you for your time and presence. Women in Maritime West and Central Africa, you are welcome. Please, can we celebrate these people? I also recognize Tolu Odubeson, the Acting Director, VAPP Department, NAPTIP, representing the Director General, Ajia Binta Adamu Bello. You see, when he was speaking, he said, we need to celebrate this woman. And that clap was not celebratory enough. Her representative is seated here. I'm sure he's doing a video to let her know how much we celebrated her. Please, let's celebrate this wonderful woman. Thank you so much, ma'am. And we apologize for not starting at the time you came in earlier, but thank you for still sending a representative. We also want to celebrate the CEO, GeoCorp International Group, Mr. George AGK Francis. You are welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. At this point, we're going to be taking a remarks. Mr. Noreke spoke briefly about this woman. She's a woman that I have the privilege of knowing before now and seeing some of the great work that she's doing. She's wide-read. She has experience. She has served this country in different capacities. But none of those honors has stopped her from stooping to conquer and to impact lives. This is a woman that I describe as the perfect example of retired but not tired. If anything, she's firing on all 6 cylinders, or 8 cylinders, if I must say. She's a woman who believes in impacting and growing the next generation. That's why I said when I talked about leadership, she embodies that. Is someone who believes in the success of others. Recently, I was at the event where they launched a skill acquisition center that she pioneered, that is all about giving back to her nation free of charge. And she is a strong supporter of this event that we are all attending. Please, with a very joyful, warm round of applause, join me to welcome a mother indeed, a leader indeed, an Amazon and a woman of substance, Chief Mrs. Chinwe Ezenwa. Please clap for her very well. Thank you very much. I appreciate those making this clap until she gets here. You too, honor will find you everywhere you see yourself. Thank you, ma.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have to recognize the presence of our very dear brother, Hassan Bello, who has really, really impacted on my own life too. I have to thank the chairman of this occasion, Hajia Lami Tumaka. I call her Tumak. And our past Wista president, that is seated right behind her, Mary Harman beside her, and Rollins McFoy, and all the Amazons and all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen here. Sometimes when people talk about me, I feel I'm not the one they're talking about, because I don't like those kind of publicity. I like to be silent. However, I must congratulate everyone here, plus the he for she, Kingsley Anaroke, and all the people seated here, because it's really not easy to come to an event on a Wednesday morning in Abuja. Having said that, what we're here to do is to discuss a very important subject matter: gender equality, leadership. Leadership is something that Nigeria has been battling with for both genders. Has nothing to do with women. It's for everyone in Nigeria knows that leadership is our biggest problem. So we're here to talk about it. But most importantly, we need to talk about gender equality, gender parity. What are we talking about? We're talking about human rights. Because when people talk about gender, they are looking at women as if we are begging to be recognized. It is your right. We must be recognized. It shouldn't be on any table. So women who are here, fight for it. Fight, battle. Because it's your right. People go to events and they say, he's treating me like this because I'm a woman. Don't make those statements. No. You deserve whatever you want. Get it. Fight. Because I am a fighter. I fight all the time. I fight for my rights. So long as you know the rules of the game, you too must know your onions. If you don't know your onions, don't feel so entitled. Very important. As I'm getting older, I'm looking at some young women who are brilliant and they are fighting. And I love them for that. I listened to a young woman in a banking hall, trying to make her case across to a bank manager. I listened. I wanted to intervene. I just said, let me see how far she can go. If she's not able to do it, then I'll step up. But she defended herself. And when she was done, I called her. I said, you are the kind of woman leader we are looking for. I gave her my card. And I'm on a chatting basis with her all the time. So women who are here, I'm addressing you in particular. Don't let anybody tell you women don't support women. It's a lie. Women support women. If those women they are supporting are there with the right attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, I will not support you because you're a woman. I don't care what you say. And you must get your priorities right. First things first. Business before pleasure. Most people throw away business, pleasure first. How are you going to do it? I'm in business now for 39 years and still counting. I'm going to be 74 in February and I'm still fighting. I just told Dr. Hassan Bello that by the 17th, I'm taking my bags to China. He was just saying, what? I said, I'm getting there. I just got my visa yesterday. I must go there. Some people will say, take it easy. I'm not going to take it easy. I will not. Because as long as God gives you life, you must continue to struggle. Wherever death meets you, die there. All right? So don't come in here wanting people to pity you. I'm not a member of pity party. All right? I work for what I want. So you too, work for what you want. And in closing, this is going to be a very important conference because we are developing what they call a WE policy for Nigeria. Women Economic Empowerment Policy. So some of the things that will be discussed here should be engraved in that policy. Don't let MMS be for people just, they say you're a FEMA, Hall of Famer. I don't even know why we are calling it FEMA. It is for women. Are they famous? I don't think so. I don't think anybody here is so famous for anything. We need to go to the women who are going to do the work. People like Tumaka and Co. We need to work. Adarawano and all the Pebek and all the people here, Anyeka and Co. All your activism should be on how to place your fellow women on the policy table of government. This is not famous. We might need to change the name. I don't see who is famous here. So, I thank you for coming and God bless.
Let me re-echo what somebody said. She deserves a standing ovation. That was a speech. She spoke extempore, no paper in hand, but she spoke the passion of women and she spoke the truth. Okay, awesome speech. And I don't think from now on it's really only gonna get better. Only gonna get better. And I'm about to call on another woman who is also a testimony of what she has said. She's not pushing the entitlement mentality. She has made herself relevant. And she has sat on tables made for king. She's a quintessential public relations professional. And she's an astute administrator. A public speaker with over 30 years combined experience. And if there's something a lot of people say about her, it's her persona. That she has a very, very lovely persona. She has worked and given about 22 years of her life to public service. And she recently retired from the services of NIMASA. And she's a recipient of several awards and recognitions for her professionalism. Not for just being a woman, but for her professionalism in the practice of public relations. One of those awards is the Maritime Media Woman of the Year 2011 and 2012, two-time holder. And she was also voted the Best Maritime Industry Public Relations Officer 2011 through a poll. And she holds several honors amongst being an Amazon of the MMS Hall of Fame. Please join me, celebrate and welcome with a very, very beautiful warm round of applause the very chairman of the occasion, Hajia Lami Tumaka, for her remarks. Did you hear that song? The lioness herself is about to take the stage. Can we celebrate her? See the dance. That's a dance of a victor, of a woman who knows her substance, of a woman that stands for the truth, stands for excellence, stands for professionalism, stands for impact. And in this course, she's a tool that will make change happen. One more time, a round of applause for Ajia Suraki.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies, my mother. She's my mother. She's an amazing human being. I've never met a woman like this woman. It's incredible. Please, let's give her a warm round of applause. And after, my brother, you're welcome. Our former First Lady, you're welcome. My sisters, Mary Harman, my friend, my sister, all the distinguished ladies and gentlemen that are here, you're all welcome. I don't like to say standing on existing protocol because I know it is not correct, you know. But in Nigeria, if you don't say it, you will offend some people. So I stand on existing protocol. What do you say after the kind of extempore speech that our mother has made? What do you say? You don't have anything to say. But I must say something. Do you think I don't want to stand on that podium? I want to stand on that podium. But I can't. You know why? Because I have my own challenges. But I have not allowed the challenge to stop me from being who I am today. And the fact that I've not stood on that podium, does it take anything away from me? You can hear me. You can see me. So that's what we are all about, women. I hate being pitied. I hate being pitied. I never, as soon as I see you trying to come and help me, I run away from you. We have to be on that table. And we're not on that table because we're women. We're not on that table because we're beautiful. We're on that table because we have the capacity. We're on that table because we're competent. We're on that table because we're able. We're on that table, like she said, before, because you have it up here in your head. There's nothing that a man can do. I'm not saying I can do better. No. But I can equally do as well. Whatever a man can do, we can do as well. Because of what? You must know your onions. You must train yourself. You must educate yourself. You must improve yourself. I've retired. I retired about 4 years ago. But I'm not tired. And I've not stopped learning. And I've not stopped going out. I've not sat at home to pity myself. Even though I say sometimes, wow, what a time to retire. Because Nigeria has changed. There's so much difficulty. But we keep struggling, like she said. We keep struggling. We keep trudging on. Don't sit down in self-pity. Don't sit down and feel you're entitled. No! Go out. Show the world. Show the men that you can do it. We can do it. My brother, we can do it. Believe you me, we can do it. He was ES. We did that ES together. We did it together. Please give him a round of applause. Because he encouraged us women. I was always in his office. You go to his office, he sees you off downstairs. How many CEOs do that? But do you know why he does? Because I respect myself. Because I've shown him I am worth being accompanied downstairs. Please give me a round of applause. I think I have said enough. Rolly, it's nice to see you. She came in all the way from Lagos. It's nice to see you. These are women. I was telling some of my younger sisters. I said, there's this thing that they said that a lion cannot give birth to a monkey or to a goat. My younger sister is sitting down there. The Musawa family. The older daughter, Hanatu, is a minister. The younger sister is a commissioner in her state. And then their mother is my friend. Their mother is my friend. Yeah, she's my friend. You know why she's my friend? Because she's a woman that struggled to bring these children up and make them the success that they are today. Yes, she did. Mrs. Musawa. She did. For you in the same government, to have a minister, have a commissioner. I mean, the blessings of Allah, the blessings of God is enormous in your life. But she must have struggled. Don't just sit down and say, God will bless me. No, God says, get up, do it, and I'll meet you halfway. Yes, struggle, do it, and I will bless your efforts. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about gender, quality, influencing policy, capacity, building capacity in digital economy. Influencing policy. How do we influence the policy? How? We influence policy. Sorry, I'm not as astute as my mother, as my mentor. So I need to refer to my notes. How do we influence policy? I'll be brief so that you don't get bored. You know, when you talk too much, people get bored. So I'll be brief. So how do we influence policy? By enacting gender-sensitive laws for education, employment, and entrepreneurship. By promoting women in STEM fields through initiatives. STEM simply means science, technology, engineering, and maths. You know, when we were growing up, they used to say, you go and play with the doll. And the boys will read or play football. But today, we're saying part of how, you know, you can have this gender parity that we're talking about is by deliberately encouraging women to participate in this STEM. That is science, technology, engineering, and maths. So that's one way you can influence policy. Leadership capacity building, another way. Another way you can influence is through leadership capacity building. And how do you do this? Mentorship. It's very important. She's my mentor. And you don't even have to know the person before the person becomes your mentor. I've met people who say, Haja Lami Tumaka, you are my mentor. I don't know them. And I look at them, yes, you're my mentor because I've studied you, I've seen what you do, and I've learned what you do, how you do it. And I've modeled myself. You are my role model. So that's another way that you can do it through mentorship and coaching. Another way you can do is digital economy opportunities. You know, everything now is digital. Everything in the world now is digital. If you are not digital knowledge, if you don't have the skills, go and learn it. A lot of things I didn't know how to do before. I'll call my granddaughter, Farha. She's 8 years old. Let me tell you a funny story about my granddaughter. My daughter, Halima. Halima has 3 daughters. 3 beautiful daughters. That makes me grandmother of 3 beautiful girls. Please clap for me now. And when she was going to have the 3rd child, she said to me, Mommy, this one is different. Mommy, this one is a boy. It's different. I can feel it, Mommy. And I said, Amen. In my heart, I was just saying, God, may she have a safe delivery and may the child be healthy. But I was humoring her. Amen. It's a boy. Amen. And Farha came. She's a girl. She said to me, Mommy, I wanted a boy. God gave me a girl that is like a boy. You know what? Farha plays football. She's been registered in an academy. She sits down with her father and discusses football. Am I not the one that said, God, I want a boy? He has given me a girl, but with the characteristics, she actually even looks like a boy, like a fine boy. You know, a lot of people, you know, when I say, that's my granddaughter, I say, daughter, granddaughter, I say, yes. But she looks like a boy. I said, yes, a beautiful boy. She's the one I used to ask. Farha, she's 8 years old. How do I do this? So when she comes, Nana, she calls me Nana. What do you want me to do for you today? Because of that, I learned how to do everything myself. When she comes, what do you want me to do for me? I say, no, I know how to do it. So be digital savvy. That's the point I am making. Then, the challenges, overcome stereotypes, increase access to funding, balance work. What are the solutions to the topic that we're discussing today? And I said part of the solution is to foster government, private sector, and civil society partnerships, create inclusive workplace and diverse hiring practices, amplify women's voices in policy leadership. If you don't put us as part of the people formulating the policy, you know, I granted an interview to Arise, and I said to them, any government that does not carry along the women population is missing half, if not more than half, of the positives that women can bring to the table. You know, when you have a female manager or a female director, there are certain things that, being a woman by nature, being a woman, you can see certain things that the man will not see. So that advantage is taken away from the country, from the organization, from the association, if you don't put women in such positions. And then finally, I said, what do we do to achieve what Kingsley has brought us here to do? Kingsley has brought us to prefer solution. He has even challenged us. He said something which I do not agree with, even though Mary Harman agreed with him, but I'm sure my mentor did not agree because I don't agree. I think women help women. I don't agree that women do not help women. Women helping women. I have been helped by women and men. And like she said, if you don't make yourself available to be helped, how do we help you? You understand? How do I know that you need to be helped? So action plan. My action plan for achieving what he has talked about, I said, number one, I hope I'm making sense. Because when you start getting tired of me, just tell me, Lami, go and sit down. And I'll go and sit down, please. Thank you. So what's my action plan? What's my proposal to achieving what Kingsley has said we should do? I said, number one, establish a gender quality task force. Establish a gender policy task force. Develop policy recommendations. Launch leadership development programs. And then create online resources and platforms. These are my recommendations on way forward. I will not sit down without talking about Kingsley. Kingsley, are you here? Kingsley has been an amazing human being. You know, any man or any woman, yes, any man or woman that keeps trudging on in spite of challenges is a personality, is somebody that we should all emulate, should be a role model. Because I'm sure you'll agree with me that, like my auntie, my mother said, you know, being an entrepreneur in the Nigerian environment today is very tasking, is very demanding. But don't be daunted. Continue struggling until that success, until God meets you halfway. So, Kingsley, thank you very much for bringing us all here together. I'm praising Kingsley today. Kingsley was one of the people that kept me on my toes when I was head of public relations at NIMASA. If Kingsley blows you, you will wake up from your sleep. But when you have him as somebody supporting you, you can go and sleep. Thank you very much. You can clap now.
She talked about deliberately encouraging women in STEM. The science, the technology, the engineering, and the math. And this will lead me to the next guest that is supposed to be giving us a goodwill message. This is one of the women that have taken that strong stride of being one of the strong women in STEM. And so now, today, she sent a representative, but you will be hearing from her, even though it's the voice of the representative that you'll be listening to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you, for her goodwill message, the chief guest honor of today's event, Senator Iweti Kingibe, the senator representing FCT. And she's ably represented by the SA Women Affairs in her office. Please let's welcome her representative, Mrs. Chinasa Isaac Nduka. That clap is for the senator representing the FCT.
Good afternoon, my mothers, my sisters, and colleagues. As the compare said, I'm here to represent Senator Ireti Hiba Kingibe. And this topic, resonates so much with Senator Ireti Kingibe because she's an advocate for gender equality. And she's also a testament of what we are talking about today. Being an opposition and a woman, occupying such a position. And it took her 20 years to get to where she is today. I'm a young woman that started, I started being mentored from the age of 19. And when people talk about mentorship, mentorship builds and molds people faster than working it out yourself. Because mentorship solves 60% of where you are going to. And choosing a mentor is very critical. And you have to be intentional about it. I work with Senator Ireti Kingibe, not just as a senator. I see her as a mentor. I see her as a mother. And, it's easier. I was just talking to mommy here. I said, not all women help women. I'm a member of WIMBIS, Women in Business Public Service. I know some of us here know WIMBIS. My mom is one of the founding members of WIMBIS. And I've seen women in different categories. So when they say women are helping women, we have to be practical. We have to be sincere. We have to be women as a woman, but think like a man. It's only in doing that we can help other fellow women. The senator has been through so many challenges in FCT, and a lot of women, even in big organizations, have put deaf ears to the challenges she's going through. And you are here to tell me that women are helping women? It's a no. It's a no-no. Because whatever affects her, affects other women. Irrespective of your political party, irrespective of your religion, irrespective of your professional legacies. We must first fight for our women. We must first stand for a woman. I know a lot of Nigerians, over 60%, supporting Kamala Harris. Do you know her? Does she know you? But you're supporting her. But we have our own Kamala Harris in FCT. How many of you have shown her support? How many? Because she's an opposition. This is a woman that has fought her way right from uni. As an engineer, I'm a software engineer, so I know what it means to be in a male-dominated space. To create a niche for yourself is not easy. So we must first look inward if we must go forward. You don't need to know her. You don't need to be her family member. All you need to do is to support a woman. That's all we need to do. And for Nigeria to move forward, we must put every sentiment aside and first fight for ourselves as a Nigerian. If you say you want to be my mentor, I don't look at what you say. I look your actions. Because if I can challenge my mother at home, I have not seen that person I cannot challenge. I will say it to your face because I'm not one of those that will tell you what you want to hear. And do you know one good thing about Senator Ireti Kingibe? She's a senator and a mother and a leader that does not despise her children that criticizes her. When you tell, because a lot of women seated here, I've been to conferences where I went to represent her. I see the way a lot of ministers handle their aides, handle their counterparts, their colleagues. I'm happy the voices of people are counting. Nigeria is no longer the country where you can just do anything and get away with it. Because generations of young women are rising. and I'm one of them. We are rising to counter the stereotypes. We are rising to change the narrative. Enough for once will be enough. So if you think just being a minister or a senator or a president, you can do anything and get away with it, no way. It's time to have a rethink. And the time to do that is now. Thank you.
And so we go on to a goodwill message from another wonderful woman, another woman of impact, another woman of substance. And she is the Director General, NAPTIP, who is ably represented by the Acting Director of VAP. I don't know what VAP means. When she comes up, I'm sure she will tell us. VAP department in NAPTI. Please let's welcome Ajia Binta Adamu Bello, ably represented by Tolu Odubeson. Please let's celebrate her as she takes the stage for her goodwill message.
The Chief Host, Chief Mrs. Chinwe Ezenwa, the chairman of today's occasion, Hajia Lami Tumaka, the keynote speaker, Barrister Hassan Bello, and allow me to stand on the well-established protocol. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tolu Odubeson. I'm the Acting Director, the Violence Against Persons Department, National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP. I'm representing my Director General, Ajia Lami Binta Adamu Bello. She was here earlier, but had to rush back to the office for an urgent meeting. The voice you hear is my voice, but these are her warm and lovely words to you at this occasion today. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to grace the induction ceremony of the 2024 MMS Hall of Fame and to also congratulate the inductees and the organizers of this event for achieving this milestone. To achieve gender equality, women all over the world are making tremendous impact, just as today, in every sphere of life, and their resilience is a symbol of the huge sacrifice made in promoting peace and stability in our society. The struggle for womanhood has presented us with the burden to fight for the dignity of our families, the society, and the world. We should not get tired of this burden because our silent efforts is the oxygen that keeps the world moving. As the Director General of the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, myself and my team are committed to the fight against human trafficking and eradicating all forms of gender-based violence in Nigeria. My task as the team lead of this agency is to create awareness, protect the victims, and prosecute the human traffickers. We must restore sanity in our homelands, in our homes, and bring the dignity and reputation of our communities back. The recent cases received by the agency is very alarming, and there is a need for a national call to action to beat the drum of stopping gender-based violence in all corners of our society. NAPTIP cannot do this alone. We need all hands on deck to support the government's efforts in eliminating this scourge in our society. As women, we must stand together, united in our shared values, and promote the culture of being our sister's keeper by reporting any acts of human trafficking or gender-based violence-related cases to NAPTIP. We must empower the poor and vulnerable women and commend women that are making impact in our society. Today, this initiative is not out of place, therefore, as it inducts these women into the Hall of Fame. It is also a call to duty for all of us to do more and make the society a better place for Nigerian women and girls. In conclusion, my sincere appreciation to the organizers of this event, and my agency looks forward to partnering with you in the nearest future. It is, once again, an honor and a privilege to stand before you today. I wish us all fruitful deliberations. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to welcome the National President, of the Customs Officers Wives Association. She's not here with us physically, but she has sent an able representative in the person of Dr. Mrs. Asma Isa Mai Basira, the National Secretary of COA. Please let us welcome with a warm round of applause Mrs. Kikalamel Adeni, ably represented by the National Secretary, COA. Can we make that clap louder? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, mothers, sisters, brothers, and everyone here. It's an honor to be representing the National President Custom Officers Wives Association, who is absent because one of our sisters, Mrs. Maria Labaja, lost her husband yesterday. So my president can't be here with us today due to that. My name is Dr. Mrs. Asma Isa Mebasira. I'm the National Secretary, Custom Officers Wives Association, COA. My madam sent a small goodwill message to be passed. In her words, I'm deeply humbled and honored to be inducted into the 2024 Women of Fortune Hall of Fame. This recognition fuels my passion to continue empowering women and making a positive impact. I dedicated my 2024 Women of Fortune Hall of Fame award to every woman striving for excellence. May our collective achievements inspire future generations. This induction is not just a personal achievement, but a testament to the support of my loved ones, mentors, colleagues, and all COA members across the nation. Thank you for believing in me. I look forward to continuing our shared journey of empowering women and fostering positive change. I'm proud to be part of a community that celebrates women's accomplishments and strength. The 2024 Women of Fortune Hall of Fame Award inspires me to continue pushing boundaries and advocating for women's empowerment. Thank you to the organizers and congratulations to all our days. In her words, thank you very much for this honor.
It's time for the keynote speech, and a lot has been said about this man. I know when Chief Ezenwa was speaking, she talked about how he has inspired her in several ways. And he's not just a leader in his own capacity, but he is a he for she. And that's why he has been seated here since, patiently being a part of what we're doing. He is the immediate past executive secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, and he also has been conferred with the prestigious National Honors Award of the Officer of the Order of the Niger. Please, with a very loud, rousing round of applause, let us celebrate this he for she, this man that believes in impact and growing people. For the keynote speech, Barrister Hassan Bello. Women, please, let's clap for this man very well.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't know protocol much, so I can't stand on it. Besides, I'm too big. If I stand on protocol, I guess all of us will collapse together with the protocol. But I'm very happy to be here for this very important endeavor put off by MMS. I also recognize Mrs. Chinwe Ezenwa, who is a vibrant personality within the maritime industry. And anytime I see her, I remember our friend, the late Mrs. Orakusi, who is also Vibrant, the chairman of Trawler Association. She's into fishing and shipping and terminal operations. And many of us in that industry owe a lot of gratitude to them. Of course, we have Lami Tumaka, no need for introduction. Everybody knows Lami. So it's not that I go and see her downstairs. She drags me to do that. I would rather sit in my office. But we've had a very good relationship. And women, if supported, you know, by legislations and by the judiciary, will do a lot of things. We have my colleagues at Nigerian Shippers Council. I've seen one or two of them. I'm very proud of them. They are, you know, coming out to make impact. And this is gratifying to us. But I also will recognize the past First Lady of Kebbi State, Hajia Atiku Bagudu. Now, one thing you have to know about her is, you know, First Ladies, when they come with their grandeur programs, you know, they are temporary, they are fleeting programs. And as soon as the First Lady goes, that's all. But in her case, that is not what we have in Kebbi State. It is action in mass literacy. And this has pushed, you know, the state tremendously towards attaining certain goals. There's also health delivery, because what we have or we lack is public health now. Everybody is suffering from, what are these diseases now? Hypertension and the other one. But there are so many, even the inoculation and so many other things, preventive health issues. The First Lady of Kebbi pushed that to a very, very satisfying performance. And we are very, very grateful to you. We wish you will not allow that to die. Maybe you'll come back to Kebbi and reside instead of Abuja, so that you'll continue with that program. Yes, that is the substance of women participation. So it's not women for women's sake. No, it's women because of merit, because of quality and dedication. It's like men, you know, there are bad men, so also there's bad women. So we cannot have solidarity. We are not homogeneous. There are those who merit, you know, excellence, and they should be supported. So I'm highly honored today to be the keynote speaker, even though there's nothing keynote about what I'm saying, because Ms. Ezenwa, Lami Tumaka have all addressed the issues. So for me, it's just to let you know that I have been an observer for MMS. MMS is a maritime newspaper, very, very influential and impactful. As a matter of fact, if you don't see the MMM for that week or that, then you are in trouble. As Lami has said, she had support from Kingsley. Kingsley is not a supporter, but he also calls for accountability. And he held us accountable to what we do when we are working with the government. So let me say straight up that I was closely, we closely monitored the growth, development of this particular endeavor to set up a Hall of Fame for deserving awards. But I think that Hall of Fame should be tightened a little bit. It's not my liking to see so many people. Hall of Fame is a sacred institution. It's not every person that you invite to Hall of Fame. No, there must be some criteria. There must be some eligibility and of international standard. What impact have you made to that industry you are protecting? What changes have you brought? It's not a quota system. You know, that is, oh, we have to have number of, you know, female or number of women. Or because you are a wife to controller general of this or immigration of that, so you are automatically a member or a Hall of Famer, as Mrs. Ezenwa doesn't want us to say. So the whole issue is gender equality and the influencing policies of scaling leadership capacity in the digital economy. That is capturing gender equality and struggling struggles behind it. Gender equality has started, slowly, but it's now a fundamental human right. So you cannot escape from it. It is just like the right to have assembly, okay? The right to speak your mind. So gender equality is also part of fundamental human rights. It's not something you dispense off with. It will not happen. We must accept that there must be gender equality. And this gender equality is nothing but opportunity. Give women the same opportunity that you give to men. Women are not asking you for patronage. They are capable, sometimes more capable than men. But it's the lack of access to education, lack of access to finance, lack of access to employment, and the usual harassment that we face that are obstacles to the development of women. I think the gender equality is also pivotal to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. That is, achieve gender equality, terminate discrimination and violence against women, and equal right to economic resources, opportunity, access to education, employment and career path, and even political platforms. So it's not that this political thing that we do, you have a woman leader, she shouts, she takes all the women around. When you win election, you come to Abuja and you forget the women leader. You forget their agenda. No, women must, as of right, have economic and political access. They on their right could rule this country. So it's not an aid that you dispense to women. They too could create that. So women, please, let's have an agenda. Anybody who is coming to you and said, vote for me, what is your agenda? What is your view about circumcision of genital mutilation? What of your view about early marriage? When women are sent to marriage as early as 10 or 9 or 10. What is your view about statutory rape? And then what about your view about empowerment? Empowerment of women, access to resources. It's not that you what do you call it? Grindstone or all this kind of thing and give it to women and then you hop to Abuja. It's no. Women should define their own agenda, and that's what this equality is about. So it's part of democracy. We can't have democracy if we don't have women participation. And the participation is not just to tag along. No, participation to formulate policy. Because what women equality means is inclusion. There are so many people outside the economy. That's why our economy is not doing well. If you go, you see the informal economy. It's much. But the formal economy is not there. And women do all sorts of things. If you are to pay your wife the wages of taking care of their children, taking care of your home, you will not be able to afford it. So women spend most of the time not thinking, but doing, and yet they are hardly compensated. Women must be emancipated from such kind of primitive way of life. So equal status of the sexes, 1984 UN Charter, Universal Declaration of Human Rights. These are all international conventions, international resolutions which support women. So in that respect, we have the support. But it is also back home in Nigeria, the struggle for economic right of women have been steady and I think fruitful. As someone has said before me, no, now you cannot mess with women. Please, women, don't allow anybody to mess up with you. You have the strength to look for your rights and fight for your rights. You have been doing that. You have broken this glass ceiling, I think, but it has to be continued, it has to be sustainable. So economic growth, social justice, and production. The shipping industry, let's come back to our industry, is male dominated for a long time, because when we talk about the ship, it's isolated somewhere, it's not accessible, and women on ship working is something strange. and then they suffer all sorts of abuses. I'm not saying that by the sailors or anything, but there is discrimination. So women suffer 2 times. First, for being a woman. Secondly, for being disadvantaged as in poor. So this is double jeopardy, as you like to call it in law. So we have to have education. It has been suggested here. Access to institutions. I was talking with getting information about this paper, and I noticed that there is 12% female population in Maritime Academy of Nigeria. That is the average. In 2018, there were 27 female cadets, that is, if you like. In 2021, it dropped to 14. In 2022, there are 26 women cadets. And in 2023, there are now 28. But we need to do more. In northern Nigeria, particularly, we have little knowledge of the maritime industry, especially in shipping. I have told the rector, who is a very, very active person, and the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, if you had been there 10 years or 8 years ago, you go there, you won't recognize it. They have made tremendous progress. They have an international studentship now. Students coming all over the world to Maritime Academy of Nigeria. That's the center. That's the core of shipping. So there must be recruitment. This guiding and counseling we used to have when we are, in secondary schools, when most of you were not born. I think that should be one of the targets of this Hall of Fame or MMS, to find a way of recruiting. Because if you exclude a large percentage of your population, then the economy will not grow at all. I think also it is important to make a distinction, because Kingsley mentioned it, between gender equality and gender parity. Now, gender equality is giving the people or the woman the same chances as you give to man. Okay? And that is imperative. But what is disturbing now, and this is a trend, is gender parity. That means numerical ability. Oh, we have to have 50 senators. We have to have 30, and all that kind of thing. No, that should be discouraged. People should be able to merit what they are going to have. It's not just the amount of women, no. We need women of substance. We need women of quality. We need women, because women who are promoted into or employed into certain sectors or part of the maritime industry, and they don't have knowledge, they are taken advantage of. That's why you have sexual harassment, molestation, and so on. But a woman who knows her onions, a woman who is educated, who come to a place because of merit and not for any patronage, no one can joke with her. So it is important we discuss gender parity and accept gender equality. And Nigeria has signed and ratified conventions that make it necessary for an employer to recognize this equality. Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, African Charter on Women and People's Rights. These are just a few examples. The judiciary itself has been very, very active in trying to bring out this or to stop this discrimination. In the case of Weller versus AG, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, the police force regulation 124 of the Police Act require women police officers to obtain permission to marry. They have to obtain permission from the police institution to marry. This was declared unconstitutional. You don't need any permission from anybody to get married. Secondly, In Iyala versus Amadi and the Nigerian Immigration Services, the rule for the immigration was if you want to travel abroad, you have to obtain permission from your husband. Why? So the court nullified that and said, no, that is discriminatory. Also, of course, many of you know the case of Moje Kunu versus Ijekema. Nigerian court rendered as unconstitutional the customary practice that daughters are barred from inheriting property left by their fathers. So we need also intervention. And I think MMS should also adopt this. There are a lot of lawyers here. Lawyers can look at the employment laws of every organization and find real or traces of discrimination and go to court, and court will grant you, will stop that. So this is also another way of looking at discrimination. I think it is very important that our advocacy remains active. We have to recognize excellence and achievement. We know that Hall of Fame, there are serious things. In the United States, in UK, whoever is inducted into Hall of Fame, you know, must have done something significant. And that's why somebody said, the famous maritime historian, you know, she said that Hall of Fame in the maritime industry have made contribution to those who have made impact. It's those who made impact. Please don't make your Hall of Fame an all-comers affair. Make sure people deserve and merit that. I'm also, to round up, because I said I was not going to take more than 10 minutes, going to speak on the maritime industry still, which is our focus. We must have significant, impactful, solid, easily recognizable, acknowledged achievements. We have to have criteria. How do we select somebody into the Hall of Fame? Is it just by wins on car prizes? I've seen Kingsley, for example, just said, okay, somebody, you are going to be inducted, or I'm going to induct you, or something. There must be criteria, gentlemen. That is to make it very, very important. It is quite significant for us to do so. I must commend all of us, you know, for being here to look at the issue of gender equality. Now, without gender equality, we are depriving the many people, many segments of the population from active participation in the maritime industry, and I guess others. But I just want to ask whether the Hall of Fame, Kingsley, is virtual or is it physical, or is it a hybrid? Okay, because it is important we leave significant landmark for archival reasons to inspire our women to make that Hall of Fame. I'm sure by the end of this, we will think about the legal services we can offer. We can think about mentorship. But for everything we do, ladies and gentlemen, there must be merit. Thank you very much.
Okay, we've had long hours of speeches, of words, of very impactful words, if I must say, not just any type of words. And so at this time, I would like us to take a little bit of a break. Get tea, get coffee. If the weather is now too hot for tea or coffee, get water, but get something to feed and refresh yourself. Our chief host, Chief Mrs. Ezenwa, has an exhibition behind. You know that she's also the CEO of Le Look Bags. So she has African-inspired bags exhibited behind. So while you're going on your tea break, please take some time to go to the back and look at some of those exhibits and see if there's anyone you'd like to purchase. Okay, so we'll see you again in 10 minutes. Enjoy your break and be refreshed by the time you come back here. Thank you.